friends, welcome back to Truthatude. Did you know that you don't actually have to be the boss to be a boss babe? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to give you 10 business tips to help you be a boss babe. Now, these are just tips and advice and practices that I've implemented ever since I was younger, even before I had my first job, to help me in my professional career and help me in being a business owner. So we're gonna jump right in. Tip number 1 is to friend up. Make friends with people who make decisions. Now, I have been doing this since I was in middle school and high school. I made friends with teachers, I made friends with the principal, and I was able to do a lot of things that other students weren't. So I carried this strategy throughout my professional career, from my very first job all the way until owning my own business, and it has helped me immensely. And I'm talking about building genuine friendships, not just being thirsty, and really developing a professional relationship with people who are in leadership positions, whether it's your SVP, it's your superior, your executive team, and always be helpful. And if you are always helpful and ready to offer a solution and friendly and just being ready to make their lives easier, I promise you this is going to open up a world of opportunity for you. So friend up, make friends with people who make decisions. Now, I caveat this to being friendly and having close professional relationships. These people that you work with, your colleagues, your superiors, they are not actually your friends. They are not your besties. They are just your professional, friendly colleagues. So keep it professional. These are your network, not your besties. And I carry that over to social media. Keep your social media separate. So have LinkedIn for your professional network and Facebook for your friends. Now, I am very strict and I am really hardcore about this. My friend actually makes fun of me because getting into my LinkedIn is like unlocking a vault. And I'm the same way with my Facebook. I know that there's a lot of cross-pollination and people who know you in a professional capacity want to be friends with you on Facebook, but I say no to that. And sometimes people will get their feelings hurt if they see that you haven't accepted their friend request or you even deny it. But you can just simply say, I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, but I keep Facebook for just my close friends and family, and I like to keep a separation between my personal and my professional life. Most people will respect that. Now, I had a situation where my colleague wanted to invite me to her baby shower, or maybe it was her bachelorette party, and it was all being done on Facebook. And so I told her, I said, I'm happy to accept your friend request for this event so you can send me the information, but I will delete you promptly after I have what I need. And she was a little hurt by this, and I said, look, it doesn't mean that we're not friends in real life or that we're not good colleagues. It's just I keep my personal and my professional social media very separate, and I really encourage you to do the same. So tip number 1, make friends with people who make decisions, but keep them authentic, genuine, helpful, professional relationships. Tip number 2, be a solution seeker, not a problem identifier. There are plenty of voices in the workspace that can identify what the problem is or come up with an issue, but if you identify a problem, also provide a solution. Always seek ways to be more efficient, helpful, and offer ideas to find solutions to the problems. Be a solution seeker, not a problem identifier. You don't want to be lumped in with the group that is always complaining. You want to be the standout person who always has ideas. Even if your ideas aren't chosen or really paid attention to, still continue to be the person who always offers ideas. You want to be known as the solution seeker, not another complainer. So always be a solution seeker. Tip number 3, ask questions, especially the hard, difficult, or uncomfortable questions. We have all been in a meeting, a staff meeting, a team meeting where something is being discussed and we have a question and we can look around the room and kind of know that everybody's thinking the same thing, but nobody is brave enough to actually speak up, be that person. Now, it's hard and you will be labeled as this person, but you have to get comfortable with that. And honestly, this will make you stand out in a good way because it shows that you care about what's going on in the organization. It shows that you're invested in your workplace. So don't be afraid to ask the difficult questions. Be that person. I know for me, I was quickly labeled the question girl when I worked for this really prominent organization, and we were having an all-staff meeting and they were talking about downsizing our organization, and they were going to cut like 30% of our jobs, and everybody was kind of like panicking a little bit. And so I was the one who asked the hard question: what kind of timeline are we looking at? What kind of positions are going to be cut? Is it just going to be a random lottery and people just get picked out of a hat and lose their jobs? I was willing to ask those uncomfortable questions. Now, does leadership always appreciate this? No. Does it put a bright spotlight on you? Yes. But it also shows that you're willing to stand out as a leader and think provocatively and critically and ask the tough questions. It shows your investment in the organization. So that's tip number 3, ask questions. That brings me to tip number 4, titles don't matter. Do not let yourself fall into the corporate trap of believing that somebody is better than you or more important than you or above you just because they have some fancy title. Now, I'm not saying not to respect people with titles. Absolutely. Respect your executive team, respect your leadership, respect your superiors, but don't fall into the mindset that they are smarter, better, faster, stronger than you just because they have this title. Absolutely. Learn from them, respect them, but just don't fall into that trap of hero worship, because the truth is, they will shit their pants when they die like everybody else. And I know that that's a really crude thing to say, but it always helps me maintain that perspective when I get intimidated by somebody who has a fancy title. I always remember that. They're not any more important than me. We're all humans, right? You have to be the most important person in your life, and people should respect you regardless of your title. So I encourage you not to fall into that trap of thinking that somebody's better than you just because of their title. And I actually was in a meeting once with this woman. She was a colleague of mine, and we were talking about something that needed to get done, and somebody on her team was not completing a task that was affecting me and my ability to complete what I needed to. And her remark to me was, as a VP, I shouldn't have to worry about that. And I straight up said to her, I don't care that you're a VP or what your title is. Your title doesn't mean anything to me if I'm not able to do my job. It put her back on her heels a little bit, and kind of everybody else in the room, but it really just irked me that that was her excuse, that she was above getting this task done because of her title. And I think that attitude kind of runs rampant a lot in corporate culture. So don't fall into the trap. Respect your colleagues, but do not internalize this idea that they are better than you because of their title. Tip number 5, people do business with people they like and trust. Now, you've probably heard the saying that it's not what you know, it's who you know. But I would add to that and say it's not what you know or who you know, it's who likes you and trusts you. People like to do business with not only the people they like, but the people that they can rely on. So my tip to you is to always be reliable, be your word, and be consistent. Show up all the time in the most professional way, because people will learn to trust you, and people do business with people they like and trust. Tip number 6, there is no quantum leap in success. You see it all the time, especially on social media, but I'm telling you, there is no such thing as an overnight success. You have to show up and be consistent and do the work. Now, this is something that Jeff Olson talks about in his book, The Slight Edge, and if you have not read this book, I highly recommend that every human in the planet reads this book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And he talks about how we fall into this myth of this quantum leap in success, this overnight success, and it just doesn't happen. If you read the backstory for most of these overnight success, they will tell you the tiny little shifts that they've done throughout their life, or all of the day in daily work that they've been doing to get to that successful point. It took a lot of work behind the scenes, little by little, to get from point A to point B. It was not an overnight success. It is small daily actions that build up over time, and that's how it is in your professional life. And although this idea of the quantum leap is sexy, it's absolute bullshit. You have to show up day in, day out, and do the small little tasks that will build up over time. So remember, there is no quantum leap in success. You have to show up and do the work. That's it. Those are my 10 tips for being a boss babe and to level up your professional life. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That helps us grow this community that I love so much. I really hope you find these tips helpful in your professional life so that you can be a boss babe that I know you are. I put out videos every Tuesday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on one. Be sure to follow me on social media. I'll leave a link below. For more inspiration, head over to the blog, Truthatude.com. Leave me a comment below. I want to know what tip or what advice has helped you in your professional life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Ciao.